Hey guys, Luke Lamory here alongside Holland Hines and Toby Fagan behind the camera. We have just arrived at Legacy Arena in Birmingham, Alabama, and we're previewing tomorrow's matchup, Tennessee taking on #1 seeded Texas, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central Time, and we'll have more media coverage and updates coming up here on TVC.
How one student band is making strides in the music industry. How construction on campus has affected students and a statement from the university about the issue. Welcome back from spring break. We have lots to cover for you today. Thank you for joining us for TVC News. I'm Alexa Durbin.
I'm Grayson Thatcher. We have some breaking news for you from over spring break. If you were on campus, you might have seen it. Over 40 cars had their tires slashed by a student.
29-year-old Sky Scalaba was arrested Tuesday, March 19th, which police say was just an hour after the first report was filed. She has since been charged with vandalism for the crime. UTPD and KPD have collected 48 reports. UT sophomore Atlee Elliott was parked next to a car who had their tires slashed in the T-Rex parking lot.
I'm a little confused because there were about 10 cars that had their tires slashed in the parking lot, but there were like probably 10 that didn't have their tires slashed.
Elliott tells us that she did not see the tire slasher to have a specific car she was after, as one girl with the same year and model and make of her car had her tires slashed. Last weekend, 4 TVC sports reporters went on the road to cover both Vol Hoops and Lady Vol Hoops.
All of their content is up on our Instagram page at TVC News Now. But for now, you can take a look here at some of their work.
After defeating UCLA 67-58, they are on their way to the Sweet 16 in Indianapolis. Heck yeah, ready to see them in Indianapolis.
Anybody in this tournament, they're here at this time because they're playing well. And on any given night, 40 minutes is such a fine line between winning and losing.
The Lady Vols are headed to the Sweet 16 in Birmingham, Alabama, after taking down Ohio State right behind us, 82-67 in an absolute thriller of a game. And all I can say about this game was electric.
Electric it was. Ohio State, you have to give their fan base credit. I mean, they were loud, screaming, doing whatever they could to make sure they tried to distract these Lady Vols. But the Lady Vols had their team right behind them. Lady Vols fans came out and they were really doing their thing out here. I mean, making sure Lady Vols felt hyped up and felt really comfortable tonight.
I am so proud of the whole university and these two teams, the women tonight. I'm just really proud of them. This place is filled with people in red. There's very few people in orange, and they're holding their own. They're doing a great job. It's like they're fierce. I love it.
It's just kind of leave with no regrets. We have 8 seniors. We have a lot of people who, when we're done, we're done. And to leave it all out there, have fun, enjoy the moments, but don't let a 50-50 ball or a effort play or not having the resilience to make a mistake and then have the next play mentality. Don't have to live with that for the rest of your life. Just have fun and play as hard as you possibly can in March.
We are so excited that our team will continue their coverage this weekend as both teams are in the Sweet 16 and hopefully continue to advance.
That's right. And if you want to see their content this weekend, make sure to follow us on our Instagram page at TVC News Now. Some fantastic news coming out of the West Coast, where your Vols swim and dive are competing in the NCAA Championship.
That's right. The Vols won the 200 free relay, setting the NCAA record. And senior Jordan Crooks is your national champion in the 50 free. It's his second title in the event. Guy Caribe touched third in the same event. Our Griffin Hadley is at the meet on the ground. We'll have more from him in a few minutes.
In addition, this week marks 6 months since Hurricane Helene hit the East Coast, devastating towns across East Tennessee. Hurricane Helene impacted communities across Knoxville, and they're still working to recover. Next week, our Nick McNeese is catching up with some of the hardest hit places in East Tennessee to see how they're recovering and what we can do to help.
For those enjoying outdoor events like Big Ears this weekend, our Caitlin Kirkpatrick joins us now to update us on the forecast. Caitlin?
Thanks, guys. Hey, Vols, before we get into the upcoming weather for the weekend, let's talk about the temperatures we've been feeling this week. While it's not quite pool weather yet, we are definitely getting closer to the higher temperatures. We've been wishing for this for a long time, and we've been seeing some cooler temperatures in the morning, but the sun has been warming us up in the afternoon, especially on Wednesday, where we experienced the highest temperatures of the week, which reached a high of 77 degrees. With these warmer temperatures, though, we could start seeing a chance of storms as we get more into the springtime. Even this weekend, we might experience some stormy weather as well. We'll get more into that and the weather you will see this weekend later in the show. Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Caitlin.
The University of Tennessee Police Department is teaching students how to protect themselves.
1 in 3 women have a violent encounter with another person, and certain self-defense tactics taught by UTPD might be able to save you. The course being offered utilizes the Rape Aggression Defense System, also known as RAD. The course is 12 hours in total, including a lecture, discussion, and self-defense techniques for women of all ages and abilities.
It's important for students to be able to have that confidence of I can protect myself. I'm going to be okay. I know how to protect myself, and they can feel confident in going out and being able to enjoy their lives without constantly being in fear of somebody attacking them.
The classes are free, and the next session will be April 29th to May 1st from 5 to 9 p.m. and is offered to the University of Tennessee students only. Officer Robinson also shared with me that because this class is only offered to UT students, they're hoping it will encourage some friend groups to take it together. I know Alexa and I are going to take it together, so we're really looking forward to that. As I took it last year, it's going to be a really great way to go back and get a refresh.
We're already signed up. We're ready to go. For you to sign up, follow the link on our Instagram page at TVC News Now, or go to UTPD's website and search Public Safety. Nearly 3 weeks ago, an event was held to honor people who are unhoused that have lost their lives this year.
Our Kyla Berry has been following this story for the past few weeks. She joins us now in the studio.
Weather, violence, and drugs were all a part of the conversation at this vigil. Those are the trends that Knox County have been seeing in the deaths in the homeless community. Now, the average lifespan for an unhoused individual in Knoxville is 48 years old. The Metro Drug Coalition is honoring those who are no longer with us. The Metro Drug Coalition held a candlelight service to honor the homeless who died. One person that came to the service tells me they deserve to be honored.
Deserve help, and that's why we come out, to let folks know that there's more help needed.
Metro Drug tells me that the cause of their deaths are due to 3 things: violence, the cold weather, or overdoses. They tell me it's their mission to bring down the number of lives lost from substance misuse. Overdoses from substances can be prevented with a life-saving device called Narcan or naloxone. The CDC reports nearly 80,000 of the 107,000 drug overdose deaths in 2021 involved an opioid. One woman tells me she was given a second chance thanks to Narcan. She shares her story for the first time.
I've been there. Where would my life be? Would I be in heaven right now?
Nearly a month ago, Amy Spencer was given a second chance at life right in front of this warming center.
It was an eye-awakening. I had never been Narcan in my life.
Her second chance was given to her with just one click.
I just got out of the hospital that day, and I've been in the hospital for a month, had my finger amputated.
They're not communicating to see if they're breathing.
Brandon Stiles, a regional overdose specialist, is the one who saved her life.
As I got to the door, a gentleman was walking in, and he was like, "There's an overdose over here."
Brandon says she was giving all the signs of an overdose.
Extremely cold. She didn't seem like she was breathing. She wasn't communicating, right? So I pulled her out, took off my jacket, placed it under her head, gave her a dose.
That one dose of naloxone gave Amy a second chance at life and something to help her live it.
There's no other feeling that you can feel besides seeing someone that has lost hope and then seeing the light come back on when they've gained a little bit of hope.
Off Broadway, Ball News, Kyla Berry.
Kyla, where is Narcan available?
Alexa, since 2023, Narcan is available over the counter. Now, one dose runs around $25 at any local drugstore.
Thank you so much, Kyla. Construction across campus can be frustrating, but for one group of people, a closed sidewalk can mean they can't make it to class.
Our Aubrey Curran spoke to students with disabilities about how they are impacted by construction daily.
Sometimes when there are construction projects that are happening, there's maybe not enough information or signage that sort of says that there's a construction project happening. Sometimes I don't realize a sidewalk is closed and it may be the only accessible route for me to get to class. Right now there's one outside of the Mincow Electrical Engineering building that's a little bit challenging for my wheelchair.
Megan Quigley is an undergraduate student who has had some issues with campus construction.
There was an instance rather recently in the Humanities and Social Sciences building where they were repairing the elevator, and I come in on the plaza floor, which is the main accessible entrance, and to get to my classroom I have to take the elevator up one floor. But there was no sign that said elevator out of order, you know, something like that to denote that it's not working that day. And I had to miss a class because I couldn't access the second floor.
An issue accessibility advocate and student government Senator Maddie Bell says can alter the routes of these students into a more dangerous and time-consuming one.
Most of the time, people who are in wheelchairs can't even use the sidewalk and just have to use the street, which is obviously dangerous, you know, and causes other issues as well.
The overall upkeep of campus sidewalks during construction is the main point of concern for these students.
If the construction's like near a sidewalk, they will block off the sidewalk and keep that as like an area of the construction zone, which they shouldn't.
The biggest deal to me in terms of accessibility is the sidewalks being well maintained.
Although Bell admits campus accessibility has improved.
We reached out to the university to get their statement on the issue.
The Disability Office responded back with a written statement telling us there have been efforts made to make the campus more accessible, stating all rerouted paths have been carefully planned with accessibility in mind, ensuring students with mobility concerns can navigate the campus safely and efficiently.
Students with mobility limitations may also apply for the T-Access Pass, an on-demand point-to-point transportation service that covers the UT campus, Sorority Village, and the Fort Sanders neighborhood.
They also stated if a student is ever experiencing accessibility issues, including construction-related ones, they can fill out the campus barrier and accessibility form located on the Office of Equal Opportunity and Accessibility website.
Charlie Kirk, the American political activist and social media star, held a debate in HSS Plaza right before spring break as part of his American Comeback Tour.
The tour hopes to create a space for students and community members to ask him political questions. Our Aubrey Curran covered this event and spoke to some attendees.
Line, we'll have a great conversation here, and go Vols, everybody, go Vols. All right, yes, sir.
Charlie Kirk brought his American Comeback Tour to Tennessee with the help of UT's Turning Point USA, drawing a large crowd of students that only kept growing in size.
If we're going to be consistent that it really is her body and her choice.
The crowd was encouraged to ask questions and each took turns to say their piece.
Who has a disagreement?
Do you think Trump won the 2020 election?
I'm glad he didn't. I'm actually glad that the Democrats pulled out every stop they possibly could.
So I'm sure if I ask this question, the answer will be no. But you would say, does a mother have the right to kill her child? Not kill, but what I'm trying to raise awareness right now is that we need to abolish child neglect laws. My main question is, why are you so obsessed with legislating women's bodies?
This is the standard of our dialogue right now. The Democrat Party is far more of a cult than the Republican Party. That is not a contention that I throw around lightly, but it is, you satisfy the requirements way more than the MAGA movement does.
You haven't asked me enough questions to know that.
A small group of protesters also formed outside of the show with students like Haven Hayes holding posters in opposition of the Trump administration.
Personally, I feel like the Trump administration is getting a little bit personal to Tennessee, where I'm from, where I was raised.
While different viewpoints were shared, whether for or against, these students came because they were willing to listen and learn.
I personally do not believe in Charlie Kirk, but I want to learn to see what he has to say to other people.
Kirk will be at Oklahoma State University on April 1st. Next week, we take a deeper look at the Republican activist nonprofit Turning Point USAAT, the University of Tennessee. Both your Vols and Lady Vols are still dancing this March.
That's right. And we take a look at who we face in Indianapolis and Birmingham this weekend as we look forward to the Elite Eight.
And we take a look at how our Lady Vols are doing out on the diamond.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
We are the Tennessee Volunteers. People who create connections, push boundaries, do the research that changes lives. We've got world-class academics and championship athletics. To be the best, you gotta learn from the best. And if you wanna lead, you gotta light the way. We've got what it takes. It takes a volunteer.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for sticking with us.
There have been a lot of action for the Volunteers. It's time for the Rocky Top Sports Report.
Thank you, guys. Welcome back to the Rocky Top Sports Report. I'm Zach Pelfrey.
And I'm Sophie Starkey, keeping you up to date with all things sports here on Rocky Top. Your Vols are national champions. Tennessee Swim taking home 2 titles last night. Our Griffin Hadley is at the meet.
Hey, Vol Nation. Check this out. Tennessee won 2 national championships on the second day of competition at NCAA's. Jordan Crooks won the 50-yard freestyle for the second time in his career, and the boys won the 200 freestyle relay for the first time in history. Let's hear what they had to say.
For all 4 of us to be able to put the power tee and, represent it the way we did tonight, it means a lot. And to go home with that first place trophy and, bring it back to Rocky Top is really special.
We've been thinking a lot. How do you want to execute the relay as best as we can? We have in our minds just have fun, swim fast, and we did that today and we won. And we've been looking for this for the whole year.
Freshman diver Bennett Green got the scoring started on the 1-meter springboard. He was able to notch a 13th place finish overall, the first time a Tennessee freshman has entered the top 16 in that event since 2019. The men's 50 freestyle performances from Tennessee was quite literally one for the history books. Tennessee put 2 swimmers in the top 3 for the first time since 1979. Guy Caribe notched a 3rd place finish, and now he is the 4th fastest performer all time in the event. And Jordan Crooks won his 2nd title in that event. He is one of 4 Vols to win 2 titles in the 50-yard freestyle. And you heard it from the guys. The 200 freestyle relay was Tennessee history. The relay consisted of Jordan Crooks, Guy Caribe, Nikolai Blackman, and Lamar Taylor. In that relay, Crooks and Caribe both went 17.8, the only 2 17s in the entire field. Jordan Crooks broke his school record leading off, and now he has the most 17-point swims in the 50-yard freestyle in history. And here's where the boys ended up. Top of the podium twice for 2 national championships on day number 2.
While we were on spring break, the Lady Vols posted their 2nd straight top 5 NCAA finish, including a silver medal in the 100 free relay and 2nd and 3rd in the 100 breast.
Both your Tennessee basketball teams are in the Sweet 16. The Tennessee men's basketball team has made the Sweet 16 for the 3rd consecutive year in a row. Last Thursday, the Vols started their tournament run with a 77-62 win over the Wofford Terriers. Chaz Lanier lit up the stat sheet, shooting 11 for 22 with 29 points, and Zakai Ziegler finished with a 12-point, 12-assist double-double. Ziegler also broke the record for most career assists at Tennessee. The Vols then advanced to the round of 32, where then they met the UCLA Bruins. Once again, Chaz Lanier lit up the stat sheet, scoring 20 points, going 4 for 5 on 3, and he broke the 3-point record for most threes in a single season at the University of Tennessee. The record was previously held by VFL Chris Lofton. Look for the men's this week in Indianapolis as they take on the Kentucky Wildcats in the Sweet 16. Oh, and they're in Indianapolis. Speaking of, their old teammate Dalton Knecht got them a sweep during the Lakers matchup with the Pacers earlier this week.
The women's basketball team will face the 1-seed Texas in Birmingham tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Tennessee advanced to the round of 16 by dominating the 12-seed South Florida in the opening round 101-66. Then they handed Ohio State its first home loss of the season, 82-67. The Lady Vols are led by Talasia Cooper, who averaged 19 points over the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament. Our Caleb Colvin talked to some students about their thoughts on Tennessee's performance in both tournaments.
What's up, y'all? It's Caleb here. Both UT teams have made the Sweet 16, so I'm out on campus asking students, do they think they have a chance to make it all the way? Both Tennessee teams made the Sweet 16, so what are your thoughts on their chances going forward?
I like our chances, especially in the women's bracket. I think we got it. I'm hoping they can both do well.
I think the men's team is definitely making Final Four.
I think UT men's definitely has the best chance going forward. There's no way Kentucky can beat us 3 times.
I don't know. UT, they have a history of disappointing fans, so it's hit or miss.
We lost to Kentucky twice, but I think we match up better this time. They lost their second best player.
The women's team, I have high hopes they're going to make Elite 8, but I am kind of nervous for the Sweet 16.
The women's team has a good coach in Kim Caldwell, so I think it's going to work out pretty well for them.
Women's, I got full confidence in them. They're balling. Definitely a challenge coming up with Texas, but, you know, I think Kim Caldwell's great. I think the team's great. Anything could happen.
Do you have any bold predictions for the Sweet 16?
Bold prediction?
I do not.
I think Auburn gets out sometime soon, real soon. So, same with University of Houston.
I'd say Arkansas wins again.
Arkansas, I think they're tough. I think they're going to make the Final Four.
I think we'll have a rematch with Florida in the championship.
I mean, my bold prediction is that we're going to beat Florida, we're going to beat Houston, we're going to beat Duke. Throw anybody at us, we're going to win.
Who is your favorite player on either team?
My favorite player on the men's team is Jemai Mashak. He does all the little things right.
Definitely Igor Milicic.
My favorite player is probably Mashak. I don't think he gets the recognition he deserves.
Cade Phillips, bro. Chaz, that dude's going to the NBA. That's my favorite player.
Mr. Cade Phillips. I'm going to have to go with a fan favorite, Zakai Ziegler. He's like my all-time favorite.
I love Cade Phillips. If you're watching this now, hit me up.
Do you have a favorite UT sports moment within the past year?
Mashak making that buzzer beater 3, man, that was unreal.
The Jemai Mashak 3-pointer against Alabama, I got that on video. Just owning Alabama right now. I mean, I was at the game with the game winner, rushed the field. I mean, we just own Bama right now. That's really it.
Probably beating Bama in football. Storming the field was pretty cool.
Us beating Alabama was so fun. We were at the game, and that was like an awesome moment.
I'd probably have to say us winning the World Series for baseball. That was pretty awesome.
It's got to be the 3 Grand Slams baseball team in one game. I mean, that's insane. That's unheard of. I've never heard anything like that in my life. These dudes are about to go back-to-back, and they just win.
Definitely Tennessee baseball winning the national title. I grew up in Knoxville, so like seeing us I've never witnessed us win a national championship before. So that was definitely like a surreal moment and like probably the best moment.
Well, that's all for me. Hopefully both the men's and women's team can win this weekend, and hopefully they both can make the national championship and win it all as well. Go Vols.
Yes, now over on the diamond, softball pitcher Carlin Pickens broke the record for the fastest pitch in college softball history. In their final game of the series against the Arkansas Razorbacks in the top of the 6th inning, Carlin Pickens threw a 78.2 mile-per-hour pitch. The previous record belonged to VFL and Olympic silver medalist Monica Abbott. The Vols traveled down to Norman, Oklahoma this week to take on the Sooners in their biggest series of the season. The Sooners are number 2 in the country and the 4-time defending national champions. Good luck to our Lady Vols this weekend.
Vol baseball held their number 1 ranking with a 2-1 road series win against the Crimson Tide. Freshman pitchers Tegan Coons and Braden Krenzel dominated the mound, each pitching 4 innings. Coons set down the first 11 batters he faced, and Krenzel had 6 strikeouts for his first ever career win. The Vols took a little break from SEC play to defeat Queens this past Tuesday 14-3, but they are not here for long as they travel this weekend for the second of a back-to-back road test against South Carolina. The series starts today at 7 p.m. where star pitcher Liam Doyle is expected to return on the mound.
While we were all on spring break, the Tennessee track and field team was competing in the NCAA Indoor Championship. The Vols had 3 podium finishes from the women's team, had 2 top 8 placements in the 60-meter hurdles, and a 4x4 fourth place finish. The Lady Vols finished tied for 15th in the event. Rowing is also back. Be sure to check the Tennessee rowing team as it competes in their first meet this weekend against Stanford at Melton Hill Lake in Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
Sally, that is all the time we have for the Rocky Top Sports Report today.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at TVC News Now to follow us along with our teams at the NCAA tournaments. For Zach Pelfrey and Sophie Starkey, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, guys.
When we get back, we take a look at some events and groups across campus.
That's right. How about a band of UT students is gaining traction across Knoxville?
In a petting zoo on campus, we take you up close and personal.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
Be right there.
Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We are the Tennessee Volunteers. People who create connections, push boundaries, do the research that changes lives. We've got world-class academics and championship athletics. To be the best, you gotta learn from the best. And if you wanna lead, you gotta light the way. We've got what it takes. It takes a volunteer.
Let's take a look at our weekend forecast here on Rocky Top. During the week, we've seen some much needed sunshine and warmer temperatures. Today, we will see a few clouds in the sky with increasing wind gusts that could go as high as 20 miles per hour. But it will still be nice and warm with the temperatures reaching a high of 77. Tonight, temps will get down to a low of 57. And Saturday, it's going to be mostly cloudy with a high in the upper 70s. During the night, there will be a low around 60 degrees. And later in the night, we could even see some showers. There are about a 40% chance of participation. Going into Sunday, it will be mostly cloudy and you are likely to see showers mainly after 8 a.m. The temperatures will still be warm as you'll see a high of 76 degrees. Sunday night, you will want to watch out for some possible thunderstorms, which could possibly become severe storms. We will keep you updated with the storms as the weekends go on. That's all the weather I have for you, Vols. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Smokey's Closet is a free resource to provide UT students, faculty, and staff with gently used professional clothing. They will be having a happy hour and clothing drive to collect resources and provide networking opportunities with local alumni. The event will be held on April 2nd from 6 to 8 p.m. at Club Getsvu.
Tomorrow marks a special national holiday. It's Vietnam War Veterans Day. I spoke with students who shared what the day means to them.
Everyone has someone they look up to.
To me, veterans, both the people in my family and people I don't know,
embody courage and service to their communities.
For UT student Alex Durkee, it's someone close to home.
My grandfather served in the Vietnam War, and he's had a huge impact on the person who I am. He's the most compassionate person I've ever met. Really an inspiration.
March 29th marks National Vietnam Veterans Day, recognizing those who served our country from 1955 to 1975.
We have a lot of people in our student body, both graduate and undergraduate, that have ties to the military. So ROTC, there's people in staff that are veterans. So making sure that we kind of pay tribute to them, but then also tribute to those in the greater Knoxville community.
To honor the day, the Baker School for Public Policy and Affairs hosted a thank you letter drive, sending cards to veterans through a nonprofit called A Million Thanks.
Students play their part in this event by simply making their card and heading on their way.
It's very heartwarming to know that the card that I'm writing right now is going to go into the hands of someone who fought in the Vietnam War.
Whether you have a close connection or not, is a chance to say thanks to the ones who braved their lives.
Even if I don't know them, I'm writing to them because they inspire me as a person and kind of show me what it means to serve.
Finding fulfillment by fulfilling others. On UT campus, Alexa Durbin, TVC News.
Student bands seem to be a trend these days, as there are now multiple within our own campus. Because of this, it may be often challenging to stand out amongst the crowd. Our Aubrey Curran met with a student band who certainly stands out in more ways than one.
Their name is the Fort Knox Band. Born by students who all shared a passion for music without actually being music majors. At first they started off just doing covers, but as time grew on, so did their skill set. Having now written and released over 7 original songs, and with a growing social media presence, Fort Knox Band practices multiple times a week, and they're doing it in one of the places you least expect.
All right, are we playing that one again? Yeah, should have. All right, you want me to start? Yeah, you start it.
Within Fraternity Row, in the most unexpected of places, lies a band with a different sound.
Their first practice took place in the music building, which is where they stayed until they were kicked out. That's when they decided to move to their fraternity basements. So what is it like practicing in a basement, frat basement?
Loud, yeah.
While most bands do the songwriting before the music, this one actually does it in reverse.
Usually it starts with just like someone with their instrument being like, oh, I came up with this little thing.
They play off of each other's sound, where each member comes in with a different instrument and music style, which creates a new sound so unique, this band didn't even really recognize they had one, but their audience sure did.
A lot of people have said like, oh, we listened to like your originals, and it's like, you can tell it's like Fort Knox.
An audience that only keeps growing with each performance. But with so much progress made, Fort Knox Band must have been around for a couple years, right?
Our 1-year birthday is next Wednesday.
Try just one. So what is the secret to their success? Could it be their closeness and their love of the crowd?
Like, we've had shows where the crowd is not, like, maybe not into it, or there's just not a lot of people there, and that's definitely a vibe killer.
Yeah, I don't actually mind it.
Well, most of them, anyway. They don't see playing music as just their passion. They see it as their job. One they also don't see ending anytime soon.
yeah, I was gonna, yeah.
In Knoxville, I'm Aubrey Curran, Vol News. There are many unique aspects about the Fort Knox Band, but if there's one thing that I know for certain, it's that the chemistry between these guys was unbreakable and certainly something that translates well on stage. Back to you, Alexa. If you're interested in learning more or want to see where their next show might be, you can follow them on Instagram at Fort Knox Band. And within that, you can also find a link to stream their sound through Spotify or Apple Music. Now back to you, Alexa.
Might have to pull out my phone after the show and take a look. I'm sure spending time with that band was once in a lifetime. Thank you, Aubrey. The Southeastern Conference Schools food fight is on. The SEC Food Fight is a food drive fighting food insecurity across the SEC. Food and toiletry donations made to Smokey's Pantry will count as points for UT in the competition. Bring your donations to Suite 376 in the Student Union. The challenge will run from April 1st to April 17th.
It's been 2 years since the feminist magazine Honey rebranded to Ablaze magazine. Vol News reporter Alexis Brunson talks more about where they are after the rebrand.
Ablaze magazine is a relatively new media outlet on campus.
That's kind of what I'm trying to do, especially leaving my legacy, making sure that people know who Ablaze is and what it's about, and just making sure that there's space on campus for it.
And something many members consider unique.
I feel like there aren't many creative outlets in the sense of a magazine. That's something that's so incredible.
Yet it's come to mean a lot to the members within Ablaze. For some, like Madeline Stone, editor-in-chief, it's a place to explore their creativity.
I'm a very artistic person. I'm a business major, so this is not really my type of thing.
For others like Amelia Boischer, who works with the magazine's photo team, it's a place to make connections.
So it's something for me to do every Thursday night, to come and just spend time with people I care about.
All with the purpose of creating space for underrepresented voices on campus, a focus they say has grown since the magazine started.
Started as a feminist magazine and mainly women, but also just other underrepresented groups on campus to have that creative outlet. It's just focusing on it all the time and just anytime there can be a space for it.
Along with recognition on campus and quality.
It's just been continually getting better and better, and so that's really been fun to be part of.
Many members of Ablaze say they hope to see it continue to grow and thrive on campus. In Knoxville, Alexis Brunson, Vol News.
If you want to read their latest print issue, it is available all around campus or online with other stories at ablazeutk.com.
Many students were shocked on their walk to class when they saw camels and kangaroos in the Student Union. A petting zoo on campus before spring break where students got to pet, feed, and interact with some uncommon animals. Along with the animals, there were also food trucks and a balloon animal artist. Senior at UT, Zoe Urani, says that events like this are a nice break during midterms.
It's awesome to be able to take a break and do something that's away from school while still being involved on campus with my friends. It's nice to just have some time and get to do some fun, different things that I wouldn't normally do.
If you want to learn more about upcoming campus events, check out the events calendar on the university's website. Mardi Gras is a time to let loose and have fun, takes on a whole new meaning in Knoxville's Mardi Gras Parade. David Hall shows us how the event is not only fun, but a fundamental in helping out some fun furry friends.
For the past 18 years, the Mardi Gras Pet Parade in downtown Knoxville has brought in participants from all across the region and all walks of life.
This is Piper. She's actually a therapy dog.
Hank, he jumps off the dock for distance, and he also does modeling for PetSafe.
Tasia, she is a rescue.
But for Aletha Walter and her dog Tasia, this event is about more than just a walk in the park.
We're raising money and helping dogs that need homes.
A mission that is especially important for the dynamic duo.
We're her third family from her first year of life. She was abused and mistreated. So we've rescued her, and we take her with us basically everywhere.
Young Williams Animal Center of Knoxville helps dogs like Tasia find their forever homes. And according to parade participant and pet owner Denise Vermeulen, it's events like Mardi Gras that make it possible.
It's just to support Young Williams. It's an annual fundraiser for them, and Young Williams does so many great things for our furry friends.
Even though the parade is just a little walk through downtown,
We start here on Gay Street, and I believe we end at World's Fair Park.
it can mean a big change for someone's future canine companion. Reporting for Vol News in Knoxville, I'm David Hall.
Even though this year's parade is over, you can still make donations and help out Young Williams. For more information on how, just visit their website, young-williams.org.
And that marks the end of our show today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Make sure to follow us at TBC News Now on Instagram. Lots of stuff going on there. Have a great weekend and go Vols.